Hello everyone, another video session for ISC students. ISC Specimen Sample Paper Literature in English Section B. How to write subjective or descriptive answers. Answer the following question as briefly as possible and with close reference to the relevant text. It's Section B and the full marks is 32. There are 8 questions, each carrying 4 marks. And the 2 important instructions are: write the answers as briefly as possible, though no word limit has been mentioned. So the students have the liberty to frame their answers accordingly. And the next important piece of information or instruction is with close reference to the relevant text. So you will have to write your answers with close reference to the text. The first question: bring out with close reference to the text the dominant mood of Matthew Arnold's Dover Beach. First, let me read the answer for you and then we will discuss the answer in detail. How to write a subjective answer. Come on, let's read this answer. The predominant mood of Matthew Arnold's Dover Beach is melancholy. The poet laments the loss of faith in religion and the chaos, confusion, doubt, purposelessness that have come in the wake of loss of faith during the Victorian Age. Dover Beach seems to embody this loss. The opening stanza with the descriptions of the calm sea, full tide, and the moon-blanched landscape are lyrically beautiful, evoking a picture of tenderness, beauty, stability, and poise. But later, they signify the eternal note of sadness. The French coast, with its flickering light, symbolize flickering of faith in religion. Grating roar of pebbles, violent screams in a chaotic world. The society looks like a naked, shingled beach. The last 8 lines give a fine poetic expression of Arnold's melancholy. He cries that this world, which appears to be a dreamland, has really no joy, love, light, certitude, peace, and help for pain. The world is a darkling plain, exposing its moral decomposition, disharmony. Love is the only anchorage in this world, but the deep pessimism that questions the dominant values of the time embodies a sense of grief. While discussing this answer, I'm going to give you certain tips from time to time. Don't skip the video, watch the entire video. And we also have an explanatory video of Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold. The link is there in the description box and the comment section. Do watch that video as well for a better understanding. Whatever I will be discussing here is based on things that I have already explained in that video. Easy explanation video of Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold. Coming back to this question, bring out with close reference to the text the dominant mood of Matthew Arnold's Dover Beach. I am trying to provide you with a guideline. Take help from your teachers at school and all the reference materials and this video as well to write answers in your own words. So mere rote learning or mugging up, learning by heart will not be sufficient. You need to understand the text. The predominant mood of Matthew Arnold's Dover Beach is melancholy. The poet laments the loss of faith in religion and the chaos, confusion, doubt, purposelessness that have come in the wake of loss of faith during the Victorian Age. This is the introduction, and the very first sentence brings home the fact that I have clearly understood the question. The question is all about the dominant mood of the poem, and in the very first sentence I have mentioned that The predominant mood of the poem is melancholy. Next, I have correlated the first sentence with the rest of the answer by mentioning the theme of the poem. The poet laments the loss of faith in religion. This is very significant. And he also highlights the chaos, confusion, doubt, purposelessness that have come in the wake of loss of faith during the Victorian Age. So you will have to mention Victorian Age, the context, in order to highlight the dominant mood or the dominant tone of Arnold's poetry, which is melancholy or despair. Since you will have to write as briefly as possible, mention all the key elements that you're going to justify in the introduction itself. And how will you be able to do so? Understanding the text in detail is going to help you in the long run. Now, the second stanza, Dover Beach seems to embody this loss. Now it's time for the textual reference. With close relevance to the text, remember? Yes. See how I have framed the answer. The opening stanza with the descriptions of the calm sea, full tide and the moon-blanched landscape are lyrically beautiful, evoking a picture of tenderness, beauty, stability and poise. But later they signify the eternal note of sadness. Dover Beach is a poem of duality. There is tenderness, beauty, stability, balance in the beginning, but then as Arnold is grief-stricken, as Arnold is dismayed, he clearly brings out the eternal note of sadness, of human misery. You will have to point this out in your answer if you are writing an answer on the predominant mood of despair in the poem. The French coast with its flickering light symbolize flickering of faith in religion, grating roar of pebbles, violent screams in a chaotic world. The society looks like a naked, shingled beach. Basically, you will have to justify your answer with the help of references from the text. Use quotations. So in every paragraph, I have mentioned references related to Arnold's despair or Arnold's melancholy. This is the way how you write a compact and coherent answer. Present the points in a logically coherent manner. The last 8 lines give a fine poetic expression of Arnold's melancholy. He cries that this world, which appears to be a dreamland, has really no joy, love, light, certitude, peace and help for pain. Here I have made use of certain quotations. Instead of writing the whole section, instead of quoting the whole section, I have mentioned parts of it within quotation marks. Peace, joy, love. Why have I done this? Now this is a very important tip. Don't write incorrect quotations. Don't quote incorrectly from the text. Yes, quotations fetch good marks, but incorrect quotation may cost you a heavy price. You may be penalized for quoting incorrectly. So, what is the other way out? Use small quotations like light, certitude, peace and help for pain. And don't make spelling mistakes while quoting. Avoid incorrect quotations. Avoid repetition. Observe how I have not repeated a single point in this answer. The world is a darkling plain. Again, a quotation. Exposing its moral decomposition, disharmony. Love is the only anchorage in this world, but the deep pessimism that questions the dominant values of the time embodies a sense of grief. The conclusion is equally essential. It is equally a significant part of the total answer. A catchy introduction and a justification, a summing up in the end, in the conclusion, embodies a sense of grief. Still, I have not forgotten about the main point, that is melancholy. The last sentence again, embodies a sense of grief, clearly shows that this is a compact answer. My dear boys and girls, I hope you have understood the point that I am trying to tell you, that I am trying to drive home. This is how you write a subjective or descriptive answer. And since you have been instructed to write as briefly as possible, you will have to be very careful about not beating around the bush. This is the answer I could write as briefly as possible. These answers are going to be different from the ones you used to write in class 10. Here you will have to give the inner meaning, the significance of the lines of the text. You will have to justify and substantiate your answers with reasons. Pay attention to accuracy of grammar, punctuation and spelling. Don't make spelling mistakes. Write in simple English, lucid English and follow the 3C rule. In the next video, I am going to discuss the second question, Matthew Arnold's treatment of nature in Dover Beach.